Hello, and welcome to the next lesson on order of operations. Now, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about three things, right? We're going to talk about what the order is, how to carry out the order, and lastly, why we carry out the order of operations. Then after those three, we're going to look at some examples. Okay, so let's get right into it. What is the order of operations? Now, this is a particular order that we have to carry out math operations, right? They are the rules to follow when simplifying an expression. Okay, so let's look at this expression here. We have 3 minus 7 divided by 4 multiplied by 12, right? Now, if you notice, we have three operators in this expression. We have three operators in this expression, right? And there is a particular order that we have to carry these operators out, right? We have to carry these operations. Okay, and you may be asking, why does this order matter, right? It matters because if we all simplified this expression in a different order, we would get all different answers, right? We would get different answers, right? And the thing is with mathematics must be consistent. Okay, right, now let's look at this diagram here, right? I'm going to draw a diagram that will help us in carrying out these operations. So at the top we have brackets, then indices, then here we have division and multiplication, and then at the bottom we have addition and subtraction. Right, now if you notice that we have division and multiplication on the same level and addition and subtraction on the same level as well, right? And why are these on the same level, you may ask? Right, they're on the same level because they are simply opposites of each other, okay? Right, these two and these two, they undo each other, or we can say that they reverse each other. Okay, so let me illustrate that quickly. So if we look at this example here, we have 5 multiplied by 6 gives us 30, right? And similarly, if we take that 30, and now the opposite of multiplication is division. So if we say 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. So as you can see, we've gone right back to where we started. Okay, so that shows us that they are undoing each other. Right, now quickly let's look at addition and subtraction as well. Let's say we have 6 plus 4, which will give us 10. And if we take that 10, and now we do the opposite, so 10 minus 4 will give us 6. Right, as you can see, we've gone right back to where we started again. Right, so as you can see, division and multiplication undo each other just as addition and subtraction. And I also said that they reverse each other. Now I want you to look at and see what I mean. So if we were to take this expression, for example, 12 divided by 4 multiplied by 2, right? So usually we write this as 12 over 4 multiplied by 2, right? And what we would do here is we would cancel that, divide that by 4, divide that by 4, giving us 3, and the answer here would be 6. Okay, now I want you to look at this, right? If we then said 12 over 4 multiplied by 2. Now, if I were to carry out the multiplication first, I would say 12 times 2, which gives me 24 over 4. Divide that by 4, that gives me 1. Divide that by 4, that gives me 6. So can you see? We have the same answer. So these two can reverse each other, just as how addition and subtraction can also reverse each other. Okay. Now we've spoken about brackets, right? We haven't spoken about brackets and indices, right? Let's talk about indices, right? The I in the diagram I drew earlier stands for indices, right? So let's look at this. For example, we have 2 to the power 3. Okay, so what this means is the base number, which is 2, this is called the base, is being multiplied twice by the exponent here. Right, what it means simply is we're going to say 2 times 2 times 2. Right, the 3 here, the exponent represents the number of 2's that we have in this expression, right? But if you notice, we are multiplying 2 twice, right? So we have 2 times 2 here would give us 4 times 2 would give us 8. So that is how we are meant to carry out the indices. Okay. Now, let us look at some brackets. Let us look at an expression involving brackets. If we had 2 in brackets here and 4 in brackets, right? Simply what we would need to do here, these brackets mean that we are multiplying. So that becomes 2 multiplied by 4, which gives us 8. Okay. Right, now that we've looked at some of these operations and the different operations that we have present in the diagram, right, let us look at some examples. Right, let us look at some examples. And the first one that we will start with is this one here. So as you can see, we have 3 minus 7 divided by 4 multiplied by 12. Right, just for a reminder, I'm going to draw the triangle again. Right, we had brackets, indices, division, and multiplication, sorry. And then lastly, we had addition and subtraction. Right, so if we look at this, we're going to say 7 divided by 4. Seven divided by 4. Right, that is the first thing that we're going to do. And then we're going to then say multiplied by 12, right? And then what we get from here, we're going to then say 3 minus that answer to get the simplified expression, right? I hope that makes sense to you all, right? And I'm going to look at something a bit more simpler so you understand what I'm talking about, right? Let's see if we have 3 plus, open bracket, 4, and then in brackets again we have 5 minus 6 divided by 2. Right, looking at the diagram here, the first thing that we need to do, right, is solve the brackets, right? So we're going to say 4 multiplied by 5, which is 20, right? Then we're going to say 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Right, and then we have our 3 plus 20 minus 3, right? And if you can see, we can simply do this. So we add first, 3 plus 20 equals to 23 minus 3. The answer that we get is 20. Right. I hope this explains what I'm trying to show to you here. Right. And let us look at another one. Let us look at another example. Right. Let's say we have 7 minus 24 divided by 8 multiplied by 4 plus 6. Okay, so as you can see, the first operation that we need to carry out here is division, because we have no brackets and no indices. Okay, so the first operation we carry out is right here. So that is 24 divided by 8, which gives us 3. Right? So now we have 3 multiplied by 4 plus 6 here, and then we have the 7 at the beginning. Right, so now the next thing we need to do is carry out the multiplication. 3 times 4 gives us 12. Now we have 7 minus 12 plus 6. Right, and then the last one, 12 plus 6 is 18. And then 7 minus 18 will give us negative 11. Okay. Now, quickly, I'm going to write down some practice examples. Right, I would like you to pause the video once I'm done, and you can work these out and then continue after you have finished simplifying the expressions. Okay. All right. And that is the end of our lesson today. I hope you managed to answer all 3 of these. And until next time.